Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late September 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in energy and see what's happening for the lovely Aries collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you have for us, Rams, in late September as we are moving into Libra season? That's our zodiacal twin there. What's happening? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Aries. Late September, what's the vibe here? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. Ask and you shall receive. Very sleepy type of energy for some reason. That's not usually what I pick up for an Aries reading. Now, this could also be very spiritual, creative. It's giving huge water sign energy. And this is a card I often get for water signs whenever I use it. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card, because it has a lot of interesting symbolism. So we see the lady there, she's kind of curled up in a fetal position, and there's a clock, and the numbers are like all flying off. So there's like this big etheric, dreamy type of energy. Now, again, the first thing that popped into my mind was feeling a little sleepy. So I'm not sure if you're getting enough sleep. Maybe your energy's a little zapped. Maybe spirit's just asking you to watch your dreams. You could be having some really vivid dreams. So whether that's messages from spirit or just things that are poking through the subconscious. But since this is a watery type of energy, to me, if you're not connected to a water sign, this can really tap into creativity. So whether it's expressing yourself or needing to get this energy out, you might get bit by the creative bug. So whether it's art, writing, music, it's expressing itself. That's a good thing. But there's also this really strong spiritual tie as well. Because to me, when I see her, I think of her as like potentially meditating. So I'm not sure if you're trying to go into some deep states of consciousness, meditating, praying even. Spirit could be asking you to really connect for whatever you're going through. So we're just going to leave it at that for now. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my Aries friends. What's happening in late September? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It seemed like I was picking up more energy of others than yourself. The reading was titled Here They Come. So for some Aries, for the next couple of weeks, you might be a people magnet. So whether that's in business, personal relationships, there's a lot of energy moving your way. Now, I know as an Aries myself, we get the reputation of being the action people, right? We're the ones making moves. We're doing this. We're doing that. Kind of felt like the opposite. So you might have a certain magnetism around you, and that could bleed over for a while. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Aries. What is going on in late September? Thank you. Boom. Real quick. And I like an action card to start us off, especially in an Aries reading. We have Judgment in position number 1. That is not slow. That is extremely intense. Huge change-based karmic type of energy. Could be good, depending. I mean, if any energy or any sign could handle this, it would be Aries, right? Because it's a very intense way to start. 7 of Wands in position number 2. I feel like that could be seen as pretty good too. There's a lot of fight with that card. Okay, let's get one more. Let's see what's up before we get into all the other stuff. Okay, the Devil. Okay. Opposing energies is what I see, especially if you look at the symbolism and the energies of all these cards. Now, the Devil isn't the be-all, end-all, okay? I'm just going to say that straight out front. So don't be too worried about it. It could be a lot of different things. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I feel neutral about the elemental mixture. And for a lot of you, you know, I like to look at the elements first. We do have fire right here in the center. That's our comfort element. That's our power zone, which is good. We have judgment, which is more Plutonian, Scorpio, watery type of energy, in my opinion, but it is explosive. Even though it does connect to those elementals, it's just powerful, explosive. And then we have earth right here on the back end. So it's like we have all this energy that seems to be pushing against this devil, which could be a good thing. It does feel like a bit of a fight. And again, that doesn't have to be bad. Maybe you're very determined about something, but it's like this energy is pushing, pushing, pushing. We have like a pressure buildup of some kind. So let's go through this piece by piece and really start to build it out. Position number one, we start with Judgment, one of the most complex cards in the whole entire tarot deck. As you can see there, we have the Archangel Gabriel blowing that trumpet. We have the dead rising from the grave. Now, for some of you, it could be a literal judgment if we take the card at face value. So maybe you're at a crossroads, a decision point, make or break. It doesn't just have to stop there, though. To me, this is a huge action card. Like Gabriel's making stuff happen. It's explosive, it's powerful, it's headstrong. It's like, no, this is what it's going to be, and that's how it's going to go. So I like the strength of it. I like the power behind it for sure. But at the same time, it could be a little unpredictable. Another thing with this card, aside from spiritual protection, this is a huge card for like spirit angels being around you. So it's great for that type of stuff. Judgment can sometimes be very karmic in nature. So it could speak about the cycles of life, certain situations, things that are a little bit out of our hands. So it doesn't have to be bad, but there's a huge karmic shift or change in the energy here, especially as we move to the back, because this and this are total opposites, right? Like judgment and the devil. Obviously, we have an angel and the devil. So again, for some of you with this next card coming up, it might be like one of those deals where there's an angel on one shoulder, a devil on the other. And I do think that devil could be very tempting for one reason or another. So we'll have to look into him. Now, moving to the middle, we have the Seven of Wands. I love it. There's a lot of positives here. But as I already mentioned, this is a card that has a lot of fight. And we see this individual, they're up on a wall, they have a stick. It's like me against the world type of energy. So, in the positive sense, tons of determination. Like, I'm going to do something, I'm going to make it happen. It's taken action. So, very similar to this judgment card, it's powerful, it's pushing, it's fighting, it's making moves. So, I'm not sure if you have your mind set on something like judgment into this. It's like, nope, this is how it's going to be. This is the road. This is what I want to do. It could be a decision point, but this card does have some challenges. The Seven of Wands can sometimes feel trapped. Sometimes it could feel like it's me against the world, as I already mentioned, where it's like one problem or one situation after another after another. So I'm not saying that's definitely the case. It's just a very gritty, fighting type of energy. So there could be a little bit of aggression showing up here. We're going to have to look at the details to be sure. And then, yeah, the other thing with the Seven of Wands, it could sometimes feel trapped, stuck between a rock and a hard place, cornered in one way or another. So we do want to look at it, especially as we get to the back end. We have the devil. Interesting that this shows up for us. I did like a member video breaking down the devil just a couple days ago. But this card to me is solid. Now, for some of you, this could be a Capricorn you're linked to. If you have Capricorn placements, hey, right here, there it is, due to the goat symbolism. But the devil, just like Archangel Gabriel up front here, is like really, really powerful, and there's a ton of depth of symbolism here. Now, to me, yes, it can be a problem. We'll talk about the good things too, but the devil could be problematic. It could represent addictions. It could represent obsessions. It could represent things or situations or problems you've been dealing with for a long time. This is not a short-term energy. This is something that's been going on for a while or might continue to go on for a while, which again doesn't mean the sky is falling. It's not the end of the world, but this could be a warning or a problematic energy we want to look at. But a big thing I'm picking up off this devil, there could be a certain sense of temptation here with this. Like, this is a huge card of feeling tempted, feeling spontaneous. So we do want to look at it. Now, the good thing about the devil, really, really fantastic for material aspects of life. So if you got things going on that connect to work, if you got things going on that connect to business or money, the devil's really good for that type of energy. But at the same time, we have this person that is like between a rock and a hard place. We got the angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other. So there could be a little crisscross of energy going on. I want to dive deeper on all of it, Aries. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What's happening with Aries, please? What is going on? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on judgment. See what that's about. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Aries, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get it going here. Why is judgment in the mix for the Rams? What's happening? Why is judgment here? Please. Thank you. Powerful. Like, this is an energy that just seems to spark off. Now, I do like it. To me, like, if there is something you're wanting to shift or change, whether it's an energy within you or a situation you're dealing with, there's tons of energetic support where spirit's like, all right, well, if you want to do it, you could do it. Like, this energy is huge when it comes to action and change. Now, the Ace of Wands is another complementary energy for us. Remember, big fire aces represent offers and opportunities. So when we see judgment and the Ace of Wands, it's like, oh, you might be hearing back from something. You might be hearing back from someone. This could be a talk that comes in out of nowhere. So, of course, judgment, Ace of Wands, it could be a surprising talk, unexpected talk, or message. So that's a little thing. You might be having conversations that you're not expecting to have in the short term. But aside from that, there is a shift of energy and there's a lot of energetic support for you to change something big. So whether it's how you feel about something, the actions you take towards something, your perspective, could even be a change in someone else. It just happens quick, boom, quick, sudden, explosive in its ways. So I like this energy up front. Now, the only thing I do really want to keep an eye on is the Seven of Wands and the Devil, because if there's anything that might throw us off a little bit, it would be those. But to me, there's a lot of energetic support. So, yes, surprising, unexpected talks and messages could be the name of the game for some of us. And for another portion, it's just like a powerful, explosive change. Like, there's a lot of energetic support where it's like, oh, here you go. Let's go in on the Seven of Wands, though. Let's see what that's about. Let's keep moving, because if there are going to be any pressure points, I do want to take a close look at it. So why is the Seven of Wands here? Yeah, Judgment, Ace of Wands. It's kind of tower-like, but to me, it's more of like a clean slate, which I like. So why is Seven of Wands here? Okay. This is a hesitant type of energy for some reason. And again, I'm not saying it's you, it could be someone else. Notice we have more fire. But when I see the Two of Wands in reverse, that's an unplanned type of vibe. So when I see the Seven of Wands in this combination, it's like, but what if this happens? There's like a second guessing with somebody. So it's starting to make sense. There's a lot of energetic support for something for sure. But then there's this second guessing. It's like, all right, well, if I do that, what if this happens? What if that happens? Listen, there's always going to be what ifs in life, whether it's relationships, work, business, you name it. And when I see the Seven of Wands with the Two of Wands, it's like, listen, you could handle whatever pops up. Now, for a small portion, sure. Could this be a problem or a situation that comes in out of the blue, especially with this here on the front? Absolutely. Especially with all the fire, all the volatility. So, again, there could be problems that pop up. There could be a situation you're dealing with where it's like, okay, how do I deal with this now? Um, but there's also a hesitant energy. Now, some of you could be advice from spirit saying, like, all right, Aries, just take a minute. Like, just take a minute. You don't have to do anything right away. Uh, don't be too spontaneous with something. Don't jump right into something. Even though the energy supports it, spirit's asking you to slow the roll a little bit, potentially. So there, yeah, there's the second guessing. Let's go in on the Devil. And if that's not you, it could be somebody else, right? Where they're like, I'm unsure. Ooh, I don't know. What if this? What if that? Let's see what the Devil has. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So, what is happening? I mean, maybe it's an abundance of caution, especially with this energy up front. Maybe it's like, let me just take my time. Let's see. Sometimes that's not possible, though, right? Let's see what the Devil has. How is the Devil here for Aries? Please. Thank you. Okay. So more angelic energy, we do have temperance in reverse. Okay. This energy is very, very distinct to me because temperance in reverse represents a get up and go type of vibe. So when I see it in reverse underneath the Devil, it's like, listen, something's going to change one way or another. Listen, life is all about perpetual change, right? We're always in a form of transformation, sometimes quicker, sometimes slower, but things always move along. And when I see the devil with temperance in reverse, it's like, all right, it's something that might seem stuck, might not be as stuck as you really think. Um, for someone, the only thing holding them back is themselves. Again, I'm not coming at you sideways, but like when I see the devil with temperance in reverse, it's like the only one holding you back is you, or the only one like stopping you is you. Again, not coming at you. This could totally be somebody else. Now, Archangel Michael. So again, I love the double of angelic energy that we have going on here because it does outweigh this devil, which is really good. But temperance connects to Saggy, and it's in its upright form. It's patient, it's calm, it's serene, just like the energy we saw up here. But when I see it in reverse underneath the devil, it's like, all right, well, you could play something cool, you could play something calm, um, but the energy is going to shift one way or another. Like this is an energy where it's going to do what it's going to do. But yeah, there's this energy of someone getting in their own way, okay, or not doing what's best for themselves, okay? And it doesn't have to be you. I just really want to reiterate that. I'm not saying what you're doing right now is the wrong thing. It could be someone else. But let's go through and do a quick recap. So we do have some interesting themes this week. A ton of fiery, explosive energy with judgment, all these wands, fire along the bottom. Even the devil, although it's earth, it looks like fire and brimstone, right? But let's go through and get this recap. Position number one, judgment, ace of wands. Beautiful. Love it. It's like a spark plug from the universe. So again, this could be a very explosive change. For some of you, it could be an offer or a talk opportunity that comes in out of nowhere. So to me, that's great. So for some of you, especially with the energy I saw last week, where you're like a people magnet, there could be a lot of combos coming in where it's like, huh, where'd this come from? Um, Moving to the middle, we have the Seven of Wands with the Two of Wands in reverse, a cautionary type of energy where it's like, what if this? What if that? Somebody complicating something potentially, or you might be in between a rock and a hard place with something. But this is an energy that's most definitely like trying to play it safe. Moving to the back end, we do have the devil with temperance in reverse. So we do have a lot more angelic energy than this heavy devil energy, which is a good thing. But to me, it's somebody that's getting in their own way. We already did see there could potentially be problems or situations popping up, but somebody could be making it harder. Uh, that's kind of what I'm picking up on the back end, where it's like the only one holding you back is you. Like, so we have a lot of energy and energetic support for something to change in a very powerful way, but there's this huge energy on the back end of someone getting in their own way. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Aries gang? What do we got for our Aries friends? Okay, so we do have another ace. So all that stuff we were speaking about with the conversations and the messages, communications, it does fit in the shadows as well. So I really think for a lot of you, like there could be either things you're going to be discussing or things coming in where it's like, all right, wasn't expecting to address this. Now, the thing I like about the Ace of Swords, it does carry a different vibe than the Ace of Wands. A lot of people call this the Sword of Truth. Now, the shadow side of this card, which is kind of what we're looking at, could be quite harsh. Okay, so with all the energies I'm seeing here, don't be too hard on yourself. Very important, because I know I saw this energy here on the back end. That is what it is. But it's very important this time not to be too hard on yourself or those around you, because this energy could cut deep. This energy could be a little mean when it comes to communication style. And as far as all Aries know, we are known for our bluntness, our honesty, and that's what this card represents. So hopefully you don't cut too deep with the words, because if someone's wanting some information from you, they're going to get it when I see that. So Aries, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the September subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The September calendar is already live, so we could have ourselves a little chat. But for the September subscriber surprise, giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks ever, the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's great for beginners and experienced readers. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the zodiac signs, which ones do you get along best with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As usual, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.